Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond, a congregation in the free faith tradition, bound not by a creed, but by a covenant. My name is Sharon Amos, and I'm honored to serve on your board of directors. I'm a fair-skinned white woman with shoulder-length gray blonde hair, and I'm in my late 50s. Today I'm wearing a gray and bright pink sweater, and I wear glasses. I use she, her pronouns. Our church was begun in 1833 as a liberal Christian community. We are now a community of many faith journeys and beliefs united in a single covenant of care. Through the years, we have struggled and often succeeded in the mission to seek personal wisdom, build beloved community, and serve the purpose of justice in the Richmond area. It was at this church that the Richmond Pledge to End Racism was created in 2014. Since then, we've hosted many Living the Pledge workshops, and we hope that you'll take an opportunity to join one in the future. We hope that you find something here today that touches your mind and your heart. And a special announcement for those of you who, like me, have a little debate every Sunday morning about whether to get dressed and come in and see all these wonderful people or stay in your pajamas. Next Sunday, you get to do both. You get to come in and see all these wonderful people in your pajamas, or in whatever cozy, comfy attire you would like to wear. So we hope that you'll join us next Sunday. Wherever you arrive in your faith journey, know that you are welcome here today, and it's your presence here that makes this a sacred place. Welcome.
Thank you, Sharon. Good morning. I'm the Reverend Sherman Z. Logan, Jr., and I have the honor of serving this wonderful congregation as the senior minister. Here we use visual description as an accommodation for people with low vision. So I'm a tall, brown-skinned, black man, bald head, white beard, and wearing new glasses. So hopefully I can read my manuscript. I'm wearing a black pinstripe suit with a gray tie, white shirt, white and silver stole. And I use he, his, him pronouns. And next week I will be wearing pajamas. Joining me this morning in worship, our worship associate Lynn Edwards. Our music and worship director Jamie Kilpatrick. Our hymn leaders will be Barre and Hyatt. Eric, Jeremy, and Craig are helping us with AV. And this morning, if you have anything you need or want to talk about, Rachel Lawrence from our lay pastoral care team will be available after worship in the small conference room across from the receptionist desk. So it is our custom to welcome newcomers by passing the mic, giving you an opportunity to introduce yourself and let us know where you're from. So if you are comfortable, please raise your hand, and Margaret is the minister of the mic this morning, and she will bring the mic to you.
Hi, I'm Ella. Some of y'all know me. I'm Jean Carter's daughter. I'm from St. Louis at the moment. Okay, yep.
Welcome.
Anybody else?
Hi, my name is Mike. This is my first time here, and this is?
Lorna.
And we're from Henrico.
Welcome.
Anybody else?
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're so glad that you're here. Now it's the time to greet one another. For those who are attending virtually, you can introduce yourself in the chat. And those in the sanctuary, please rise in body and spirit. Welcome your neighbors. Come into this space just as you are, tired or hopeful, worried or open-hearted. Come into this space where we practice the sacred art of seeing one another not for our titles, our roles, or our results, but for the light that lives within us all. Here we remember that appreciation is holy work. It's how we turn strangers into neighbors and neighbors into kin. So breathe deeply and know you are welcome here. You are needed here. You are enough, just as you are. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. The chalice lighting, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Lynn, and my pronouns are she, her. I have white hair, brown and eyes and eyebrows, and kind of honey beige colored skin. And today I'm wearing a long, flowy top that kind of is pajama-like, and which is one reason why I like to wear it. We're next week, yeah. It's kind of turquoise in the background with really kind of abstract print of dark blue and just a splash of chartreuse. And Today's chalice lighting is Miracles in Mundane Moments by Michelle Collins. We light this chalice for eyes that see miracles in mundane moments. May this flame remind us that gratitude grows not through waiting for extraordinary gifts, but through noticing the ordinary blessings surrounding us daily.
And please rise in body or spirit as we sing our opening hymn, Life is the Greatest Gift of All.
Our reading this morning is called Butter by Tony Hoagland. I think it was Marie who first taught me the art of spreading flattery on people, then smearing it around like marmalade on slabs of whole wheat bread, or how to spray them lightly with a mist of unexpected praise from one of those special nozzles you attach to the end of your garden hose. Walking around with her that year, I watched how she would lubricate the world. Nuns and firemen, nannies and human resource managers, 9-year-old kids in city playgrounds, and widows selling flags in Central Park. Pretty soon I started doing it myself, telling this person and that how good they look today, how rare it is to see a job well done, how excellent their taste in clothes is. I like the way even the most crusty and resistant would first startle under the assault and then start to flourish under the effect. I like to watch the moisture trickle down to their roots and then roll back up again to all 4 corners of the leaf. Why did I ever think that approval was gratuitous? Why did it take me so long to see that the power of sweetness is as great as the power of the river and the sun? If I can't improve the world by scorching it with truth, if I can't conquer it by twisting its arm behind its back, then give me some adjectives like lipstick and gloss. Give me some language like mint and honey for the heart. I will lavish the world with the power of butter. I will force it to feel good about itself. First, I will make it blush. Then I will step back and watch it shine.
Now I invite Patience Agado to come forward to talk about the Help Brigade.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patience Salgado. I have curly blonde hair and brown eyes, and I'm a tallish woman in my late 40s. And I'm wearing a green shirt and an old tweed jacket that actually was my dad's. And I wear it when I need to feel a little more courage, because he was a small in stature man with a big, big courage. So I'm coming to you today from Health Brigade, which you probably also know as the Fan Free Clinic. And some of the pictures that are going to show today are a little different than what I'm going to talk about because I didn't think I could be here this morning, and it worked out that I could. So I wanted to do more than just read this other story. We serve about 12,000 people a year, and in providing health care, mental health care, and community health outreach. I have to tell you, this has been probably one of our hardest of our 55 years. We lost about $1.8 million in funding from federal and state cuts. And it isn't just the funding that we lost, it's the spirit of power wanting to dismantle a safety net for the people that need it the most. In a world where care is being questioned and challenged and even under attack, caring itself becomes an act of resistance. Caring that families stay together. Caring that people can live freely as who they are. Caring that food and shelter and safety and health care are not luxuries, but basic human rights. In this moment that we are in today, choosing to care is choosing to resist the forces that would rather we turn away. Care is Resistance began as a single sentence in an appeal we sent out, simple but steady, but it grew into a mission, a rallying call, a hope turned into action. At a time when caring for our neighbors, especially those on the margins, is under threat, we needed a truth to stand on, and this was it. And yet, none of this is new. Resistance through care is the very foundation that Health Brigade was built upon. It showed up in the late 60s and 70s when we fought for birth control access and health care for those in need. It showed up in the 80s when we sat with those who were living and dying with AIDS, refusing to let them be forgotten. It showed up in the late 90s as we welcomed and affirmed our transgender community with dignity and love. It's always been our way. It's who we are. This year, our Health Brigade community resisted by showing up. Our staff, our community, our Richmond. We called out inhumanity. We sent our funds, no matter how small. We shared the message from all the corners of the internet. We wrote news stories and articles. We gathered at town halls. We had countless conversations trying just to figure out ways to help each other. We used our collective voices to speak truth to power. Today, we stand with so many others who are resisting with a care that sees people fully and once again honors their humanity, meets them where they are, and gives them exceptional health care and continues to insist on dignity for all. We resist the idea that anyone deserves anything less than that. This is our rallying cry. It is our hope. It is our stand. We resist because we care. Will you care with us? Thank you.
Please look through the monitor for ways to give. The ushers are passing the basket. Our offering will be taken and most graciously received. Our words of meditation this morning, The Deep Well of Appreciation by Marta I. Valentin. To rise each morning with the fake glow of sunlight on our backs, stepping into joy, surprises, and challenges of a new day is a gift. To rise amid windswept deserts or city streets lined with olive trees over walls and waters, through fear, hope alike, it's grace itself. What a blessing it is to rise in freedom of some kind to some degree. Let us pause for one honest moment to acknowledge the complex roots of our history, the beauty and the brokenness intertwined in our human story. Let us face the truth of where we have come from and forgive ourselves and one another in ways we have perpetuated incomplete stories or turned away from pain that was not ours to bear. For how can we be truly grateful if we do not? Spirit of truth and justice, we rise with you to walk through gardens of gratitude, breathing in the clear air of freedom, hard-won and still contested. Let hearts across this land reach towards one another, feeling the ancient pulse that longs to beat as one whole spirit feel, graceful, flowing in the river of thankfulness. Let us give not until it hurts, but until we can see it in our own reflection, the depth of our gratitude, until the tears remind us of the joy of giving. The beauty of the rising each day to make bread or beds, share smiles, cross boundaries, and embrace in a circle is that love. Spirit of compassion, you know that even if we never gave thanks, these gifts will still abound. Yet without gratitude, we'll walk in emptiness, missing the sacred truth that we are one, co-creating the one together. So let us rise above wherever we find ourselves. Let us give thanks for the interdependent web that brings food to our tables, for the spirit that gave of themselves, the laborers whose hands bent under the sun and burdens, the carriers who brought nourishing to our doors. From this deep well of appreciation, let us stretch our hands across the table of abundance, lifeline to lifeline, giving thanks that we can and holding in our heart those who cannot. Spirit of our deepest desires, let us rise together as one Unitarian Universalist voice, loving all of humanity. May this be so. Amen. Ashe. So this morning I was fixing my breakfast, had a bowl of yogurt, cup of tea, and toast, nothing fancy. So I pulled a piece of toast straight from the toaster, golden brown, still warm in my hands. Picked up my knife, dipped it in butter, and here's the thing. I didn't just dab it in the middle and call it done. No, I spread that butter all around the edges, every corner glistening, nothing dry, every nook and cranny full, nothing left untouched. And because I like a little sweetness in the morning, I just add a little touch of jam on it. So that's what I'm talking about this morning. The message is right here. Spread it to the edges. Let it reach every corner of your life, because the daily practice of appreciation isn't just about a single moment of feeling good. It invites us into something deeper. It calls us to take appreciation not as a moment, but as a movement. Not a rare event, but a way of life. And here's the beautiful thing, beloveds. When we live in appreciation, it doesn't just stay with us. It spreads. It shifts the atmosphere. It becomes contagious. And that ripple doesn't just move outward, it moves deeper. Because appreciation isn't only an emotion, it is a way of seeing. It opens our eyes, softens our hearts. It changes how we recognize one another. Now, Unitarian Universalist faith teaches that every person carries a divine spark. To appreciate someone is to recognize that spark. It is to see them not for what they do, but who they are. And in this world that we're living in today, needs more open hearts, more people to look into one another's eyes and say, I see you, I value you, you matter. Because appreciation is not just manners, it's ministry. It's not just niceness, it's nurture. And become a part of who we are, it transforms everything. Now, I know someone thinking, Reverend Sherman, that sounds beautiful, but does it really make a difference? Oh, yes, it does. Because appreciation doesn't just lift the spirit, it reshapes the souls and even the body, and it changes how we move through the world, how we breathe, how we see one another. And did you know appreciation actually rewires our brains? Here's the science to back it up. Psychologists tells us through research from UC Berkeley Greater Good Science Center and gratitude scholar Dr. Robert Edmonds that when we express appreciation, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in. Our heart rate slows, our breathing deepens, and our body shifts into rest and digest mode. You see, it's not just spiritual, it's biological. Appreciation literally brings us back to balance. And when we're back to balance, letting appreciation flow through us like sunlight, we embody the very heart of our faith. Because what is Unitarian Universalist if not the radical belief that every life matters, every soul shines, and every heart deserves warmth, regard. You see, when we offer appreciation, we build relationship. And those relationships become the very connective tissue of the community, the sacred bonds that holds us together when the world's tried to pull us apart. You see, appreciation strengthens that connective tissue of community. And when people feel valued, not for what they produce, but who they are, they show up differently. They trust more, share more, they forgive more. You've seen it happen, haven't you? A partner said, I appreciate you for making dinner after a long day. A parent says to a teenager, I appreciate the way you look for your sibling. A friend texts you, I just want to say, I appreciate you being in my life. And then something shifts. The air gets lighter, the room feels warmer. So that's the power of appreciation. It makes a space for belonging. It says we belong to one another. Now, appreciation isn't just about a feeling, it's a practice, something we do day by day until it becomes who we are. It is behavioral, attitudinal, and embodied. You might be grateful for your health once in a while, but appreciation shows up when you care for your body, when you rest, when you move, when you breathe. Because gratitude feels it, but appreciation lives it. It takes what we say with our lips and turns it into how we live our lives. That's why appreciation moves from talks to transformation. It motivates positive change. It makes us better stewards of what we've been given. And here it is, the beauty of it, church. When we start living that way, something begins to shift deep inside us, because appreciation doesn't just end with itself, It births something larger, something deeper. It opened the door to gratitude. But here's the twist. Appreciation generates gratitude, though not always the other way around. We can be grateful for what someone does and still miss who they are. We say, I'm grateful you helped me move, but forget to appreciate the patience, the kindness, the sacrifice behind the act. Gratitude often starts with an event. Appreciation starts with the person. Gratitude can be transactional. Appreciation is relational. And when we lead into that appreciation, gratitude deepens. It becomes contagious. And when you appreciate someone, they are more likely to appreciate someone else. And before long, that ripple touches the whole community. You see where I'm going with this? Because what starts as a single act doesn't stay. It spread like butter on that slice of toast, like sunlight through a window, like laughter in a crowded room, like love that refused to quit. That's the nature of the thing we call appreciation. And you know, appreciation is contagious. Every thank you becomes a small act of resistance against a pull of apathy. Every appreciation is a vote of hope, and that matters because hope needs witness. Hope needs people to speak life into the world, and that's the kind of courage stands up, because it runs against the current. And in a culture addicted to criticism and complaint, appreciation is a radical act. When you say, I appreciate you, it softens the heart and rekindles the dim faith. And when we spread it all the way through the edges, gratitude doesn't just stay inside of us, it multiplies around us. It becomes the language of community. But here's the thing, language alone is not enough. If appreciation truly shapes us, it has to move along our lips and take root in our living. It got to travel from our heads to our hearts and then settle down deep into our habits. The practice of appreciation began in the mind, move through the hearts, and then settle into a habit. And at first, you have to remind yourself, don't just notice what's wrong, name what's right. And then it flows more naturally. You start seeing beauty where you used to see burden. You start speaking encouragement where you used to stay silent. And before long, appreciation becomes your default setting. It's like turning your car radio. You start hearing the frequency of grace everywhere you go. And let me tell you something else, beloveds. When you start hearing that frequency, it doesn't change just how you see the world. It changes just how you see yourself. Because the same grace you offer others start echoing back into your soul. So don't miss this part. Appreciation doesn't just lift others, it lifts you. And when you live with appreciation, something shifts. You stand a little taller. You carry yourself with deeper dignity. It roots in a sense of worthiness, reminding you that you too belong in the sacred web of life. Because appreciation is love in motion. It is our deeper value made visible in daily practice. And every time you pause to truly see someone, to honor their effort, their presence, their humanity, you are affirming the sacred spark in them and awakening in yourself. And when you begin to see that divine spark, you once realize that it shines in everybody. You begin to understand something deeper, that appreciation doesn't depend on what someone gives you or what they do for you. It's bigger than transaction. It's a way of seeing, a way of being. So appreciation doesn't require a transaction. You don't need a reason or a return. You can appreciate sunrise, the memory of a loved one, the strength that you carry through a hard season, because appreciation isn't about possession. It's about perception. It is the ability to see the good that's already here. So imagine this. What if our congregation made appreciation our daily practice? What if you thank the greeters who greet you at the door? What if you notice the quiet labor of the sound techs in the back booth? What if you send a note to the flame volunteers who keep our children curious and kind? What if you looked across your seat and simply said to your neighbor, I appreciate you being here? Now turn to your neighbor and say, I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate all of you being here. Y'all don't want me to preach up here this morning, but can you see it? a community where people come not just to be recognized, but just to be seen. And that's the kind of church that this world is hungry for. A church where appreciation is not just a Sunday move, but a daily motion. And that's what the Spirit takes hold. When appreciation moves through the great hall into our street, from our worship into our waking, something powerful began to happen. And it doesn't just reshape our community, it reshapes us. Because appreciation, when practiced day by day, becomes more than an action. It becomes a way of life. When appreciation becomes a way of life, it changes our whole orientation. And we stop measuring life by what we can get and start marveling at what it already is. We stop competing for attention and start collaborating in love. We stop rushing past blessings and start lingering with them, spreading the butter of gratitude all the way to the edges. And that's when gratitude becomes contagious. But let me tell you the truth. It's easy to spread appreciation when the sun is shining and life feels good. But what happens when the storm cloud rolls in? When the roads get tough, the blessing feels hard to find. That's when this practice gets real. Yes, it's easy to talk about appreciation when life is smooth, but what about when it's hard? When grief sits heavy in the room? When relationships strain? When the world feels cruel? Can we still appreciate? Yes, we can. Maybe especially then. But you know, appreciation in a hard time is not denial, it's defiance. It said, even here, something good remains. And that's what keeps faith alive when evidence runs thin. And that's what keeps love alive when love feels costly. And appreciation doesn't erase the pain, but it keeps the pain from erasing us. And when we hold on to that truth, when we keep showing gratitude, even in the struggle, something sacred began to rise up in us. Because appreciation in hard times isn't weakness, it's witness. It's how we testify that love still has power, even when life tries to prove otherwise. And that is where appreciation turns to resistance. And in a world full of noise and negativity, appreciation is a quiet revolution. And when we choose to notice, to think, to honor, we resist cynicism. We say, kindness still matters, humanity still shine, hope still lives, and that's resistance, and that's faith in action. And you know, I've seen that kind of faith at work, not in some grand headline or history book, but in a simple everyday moment where kindness shows up unannounced. Because sometimes the clearest sermon isn't preached from the pulpit. It's lived out in the checkout line, or on the sidewalk, or in a smile between strangers. So let me tell you what happened a few weeks ago. I was shopping at my local Publix at White Oak Village in the East End, and a woman in front of me stopped to thank the cashier. Not just thank you, but I appreciate how you always greet people with a smile. And that cashier face lit up. So after seeing this change, you know, being me, I smiled too. And I told the bagger, thanks for helping me. So the bagger laughed and later helped another shopper with her grocery. So that spark of appreciation set off a change of action of kindness. And that's how it works. Appreciation doesn't stay put, it travels. And as it travels, it doesn't just change the atmosphere around us, it began to change us. Because every act of appreciation leaves a trace on the soul, and every thank you shape how we see the world. And that is where real transformation began. Appreciation transforms perspective. It takes the same world, the same people, the same problem, and casts them in a new life. It doesn't change the fact, but it changes us, and that changes everything. Like sunlight through stained glass, appreciation reveals colors that we couldn't see before. It reminds us that holiness hides in the ordinary, just by waiting for us to notice. And speaking of the ordinary become holy, let's go back for a moment where we started. You remember that's like the toast that we talked about? Don't leave your life dry in the middle. Spread appreciation all the way to the edges. Let it soak into your relationship, your work, your rest, your worship. Because when you make appreciation a way of life and not a rare event, gratitude becomes contagious. It starts in one heart, and it won't stop there. So this week, here's your invitation. Every day, pick one person to appreciate. It could be more than one, but at least pick one. Not for what they do, but who they are, and watch what happens. Watch how your spirit soften, how others stand a little taller, how joy began to ripple through your days. Because appreciation, once started, has a holy way of multiplying. May this be so. Amen.
This chalice extinguishing is by Reverend Tandy Rogers, Staying Rooted in the Sacred. May you notice what is quietly good. May you give thanks with your whole body, not as performance, but as deep practice, a way of staying rooted in the sacred, even when the wind picks up and swirls around you.
Before I give the benediction, I want to appreciate Jamie for stepping up this morning. Our guest musician who's supposed to provide the music of ministry, Mr. Flight, and couldn't be here this morning. And so we're blessed to have Jamie, and I appreciate you. And I feel this in my heart this morning, so I just want to just share this before we close up. When I chose the topic of appreciation, I reflected of how much I appreciate being the minister here and how much I appreciate all that you all do in support of our ministry and First Unitarian Universalist Church and Unitarian Universalist Association. And I'm blessed every day to come here and every Sunday when I have to lead worship with a wonderful group of people. So I just want to tell you again, I appreciate you. Now please rise in body or spirit as I give the benediction. Now, as you leave this place, go spread thanks on everything and everyone you meet. Spread it on your work, your rest, your laughter, and your sorrow. Spread it on the ordinary and watch it become holy. And as you do, may you feel the spirit of life moving through your words, flowing through your hands, shining through your hearts, until gratitude fills the world to its edges. May this be so, amen, ashe. And let's sing our closing hymn, For All This Life.